Hello, how's it going today? So, I'm going to talk about the joy of taking it easy. So, I'm on summer vacation, which I'm really grateful. I'm on summer vacation. I just ran a 6-week summer music program. My kids did, or all my students, they did phenomenal. I really enjoyed working with all of them. I had some new students who were a pleasure to teach and get to know, and I'm really excited because I'm going to have the opportunity to work with them in this upcoming school year. So I've been doing some reading today, and I want to share because there's like general themes, and it's really funny because I'm totally not on the dates of today. So this book is The Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations on Codependency by Melody Beattie. And I really like this because sometimes, like, I always feel like I have to have it like all together. Like, I always have to be put together. Like, I always have to have it all together. I'm a business owner. Like, I live on my own, and I'm a personal trainer. And so I'm a nutrition coach. So I have to eat perfectly and work out all the time. And I put like some of these things on myself that are really ridiculous because nobody can live like that. It's exhausting. And I've been living like that for like 10 years. Like, I've been working at the YMCA for 10 years. It was 10 years in this July. And at the Y, if you have worked there, you realize that unless you really have a class, because I've been a fitness instructor there, and I mean, I love my job. I love it. And if you've been a fitness instructor, you know, like, unless you have like some big holiday, you work every week. You know, unless it's like Christmas or New Year's Day or something like that. We're open on Memorial Day. Like, if you wanted to teach your class on Memorial Day, you could teach your class on Memorial Day. And some people do, which is cool. I don't. I always taught Monday evening, so we were closed by then. So it wasn't like I had to think about it, which I was grateful, because I never wanted to work on Memorial Day. I remember I was a band director, and we had to do the Memorial Day parade. And the second school I got hired at, we actually did the parade on Thursday night before Memorial Day. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have like a 3-day Memorial Day weekend. And I had not had one for like 6 years, because the first school I worked for an elementary school, and I worked the Memorial Day parade with the kids. I mean, we had a blast. They were like elementary school. It was super cute. And then for 5 years in Copiague, I did the Memorial Day parade. But like by 6 years, it was kind of like, I really could use a break. You know, I don't really want to work on Memorial Day for the rest of my life. This isn't really what I signed up for. So I was very happy when they announced that the Memorial Day parade was going to take place on Thursday evening, and then we were off the rest of the day. And sometimes we used to have like Fridays off too, so it was really awesome. Anyway, so I have just kind of focused this summer on taking some time off, and even taking some time from, I mean, I haven't taken time off from exercising because exercise makes me feel good. Like, I walk my dog. I have not been lifting weights because I have had problems with migraines, and the doctors have told me, like, just don't lift heavy. I've lifted light, but I haven't lifted heavy. And I've done a lot of yoga, and I've done a lot of dancing, and I've kind of taken a break from the weight training, which I'm looking forward to getting back to it because I have been able to heal the migraines this summer. So all the time off that I've taken has definitely paid off. So taking it easy pays off. And I think taking it easy is a little different from rest. Like, rest is when you're just gonna like give yourself the day and you can do nothing. You can't do nothing for like an extended period of time. I mean, I can't. I think that's more like depression. So I don't advocate for that, but taking it easy, I definitely advocate for, because there's just times in our lives that it's okay to take it easy. I remember I learned a great deal. Sometimes when people that I'm very close to pass away, I can have a really hard time. And I didn't know this until like the first time it happened when my grandmother passed away suddenly. And I didn't take it easy. And it was awful. So when my grandfather passed away about 6 years later, I really learned that like I have to take it easy. Like I'm not going to be able to take this music theory master's degree class. And I had to tell them, and Dr. Cinnamon, the professor, I was like, listen, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm like, I have a final for a rehearsal technique class that I was taking. I can do that. But I'm like, I'm not going to be able to take a whole new class and do well. And he's like, it's going to be 2 years until you can take this class again. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to wait those 2 years. And I did. And then I got an A. So I'm really glad I waited those 2 years. So you learn, there's a learning curve. And so taking it easy, you know, this summer with the Y, I've actually used my sick time because of the headaches, because they have been also triggered by fluorescent lights. And I've been wearing like color glasses to take care of that. So that's when so if you haven't seen me at the Y, that's really the reason. It's just the heavier weights. I really can't lift them. And a lot of times when I do work with clients, I am lifting weights for them, or picking weights and putting them on different machines. And so so today, this book, I opened up to July 7th. And it says, let yourself have a good gripe session. So sometimes when you're taking it easy, it's okay to like kind of, because I don't like to complain, or at least if I complain, I like to do something about the complaints. I just don't like to like go on and just let it happen. So it says, get it out. Go ahead, get it all out. Once we begin recovery, we may feel like it's okay not to gripe. It's not okay to gripe and complain. We may tell ourselves that if we are really working a good program, we wouldn't need to complain. What does that mean? We won't have feelings. We won't feel overwhelmed. We won't need to blow off steam or work through some not so pleasant, not so perfect, and not so pretty parts of life. We can let ourselves get our feelings out, take risks, and be vulnerable with others. We don't have to be put all together all the time. That sounds more like codependency than recovery. Getting it all out doesn't mean we need to be victims. It doesn't mean we need to revel in our misery, finding status in our martyrdom. It doesn't mean we won't go on to set boundaries. It doesn't mean we won't take care of ourselves. Sometimes getting it all out is an essential part of taking care of ourselves. We reach a point of surrender so we can move forward. Self-disclosure does not mean only quietly reporting our feelings. It means we occasionally take the risk to share our human side, the side with fears, sadness, hurt, rage, unreasonable anger, weariness, or lack of faith. We can let our humanity show. In the process, we give others permission to be human too. Together, people have their not so together moments. Sometimes falling apart, getting it all out is how we get put back together. And then today it says, I will let it all out if I need a release. And sometimes we need a release and we don't have to have it all together. We just don't. And sometimes I know I felt like I have to have it all together. And I'm here to share like, I don't have it all together. You know, I don't. But it's okay. And I think most of my life I felt like I'm supposed to have it all together. And I'm allowing myself a lot of grace to have moments where I'm not all together, and that's okay. Like, it's totally okay. So I have something else I wanted to share. And so this is a Courage to Change book from Al-Anon. And today I opened up to, page 200. It's July 18th. And it says, we often come to Al-Anon with the philosophy that if something works, it will work even better and faster if we try harder. And I am, this is me. Al-Anon involves long-term process of growth and change. Our efforts to speed up this process are more likely to interfere, leaving us frustrated and depressed. In Al-Anon, we learn easy does it. The work often gets done when we stop pushing. And I've also stopped pushing this summer because I was pushing myself a lot. And in some instances, I needed to because I needed to increase my salary. But then I also realized like I can't push myself so hard that I get burnt out. And that's what was happening. So I was able to dial back and then find that balance. And it's really important because I love what I do and I don't want to not love what I do because I'm pushing myself too hard. Like that's my own fault. So I was seeing that at the end of last school year and I was like, okay, I need to dial back. And it says here in the book, when I first came to Al-Anon, I heard that although we learn to entrust our lives and our future to a power greater than ourselves, we must do our part as well. With my usual fervor, I threw myself into doing footwork. I made at least 10 Al-Anon calls every day and began a frantic effort to practice all 12 steps at once. No wonder I was soon overwhelmed and exhausted. Today I know that I can plant a seed in fertile soil, but I don't need to help the plant grow by tugging at the seed in hope that it will sprout. I have to let the process unfold at its own pace. And I kind of feel like I left my former husband almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years in October. And I left because I didn't feel safe. And I was just like ready to jump in to like my new life and then have this whole new life right away. And I learned like I couldn't. Like I can plant seeds and I've definitely done that, but I couldn't overhaul it completely immediately because there was so much grief in leaving that I had to process, that I had to feel. It sometimes I still feel because we were married for 21 years. And there was a lot of good times in all those years. And it's been a lot to come to terms with. And even how I left due to a botch at our credit union, I had asked them to take the deposit out of my personal account. They accidentally took it out of our joint account. And so he found out and he was not happy. And nothing happened, but there was a intuition that was like, you gotta go. And to have had to leave that way has left a toll on me, and it left a toll on my children, and it left a toll in my relationship with my former husband. And it has been a process to not only sift through a divorce, but it's also left a huge healing process in the way in which the whole thing transpired. So, and I had wished that it was more amicable way before that because I knew we were different and one of us was going this way, one of us was going that way, and I really wanted us to part amicably and support one another as best we could and go our separate ways. And that was just not in the cards, and it was not possible. So in addition to creating an entirely new life and then building back my business after I had dialed back so much to take care of my youngest child who had major depression and really suffered a lot with mental health challenges, who is so much better now and so much stronger because she works on her mental health every single day. I'm so proud of her because I know how hard it is for her to show up and how much work she does to be present in a healthy way. And so this has all taken a lot of time. And I guess I'm kind of reflective right now because 2 years ago at this time, I knew that it was time for me to move on. And I remember talking with my sister, and she was telling me that the hardest part is going to be leaving. I don't know if that was the hardest part. It feels like a lot of things were hard. But ultimately, it's been so much better for everybody involved. Making that decision was the hardest decision of my life, and I would do it again because I know I did the right thing in my heart and in my soul. So sometimes when we go through challenging life circumstances, it's okay to take it easy, and we don't have to always have it all together. And so I hope my story, and by sharing my story, you can understand and apply it to your life in the way that best helps you. I feel like we live in a society where everybody like shows the highlight reel and everything's perfect. And I think we could all like take a little break from that sometimes and just realize that, you know, hey, like I have sleepless nights. I bet other people have sleepless nights. I know I'm not the only one with a sleepless night or taking some Unisom to like fall asleep because like it goes and spins and spins and spins. And give each other more grace. And instead of comparing ourselves to each other, I love the quote that Cameron Diaz said, that comparing yourself to someone else is an act of violence to yourself, because you weren't created to be them. You were created to be you. And so if we could all give ourselves some grace in being ourselves and in treating ourselves kindly and treating each other kindly, I think this world could be so much better than it currently is, because if we could just change that perspective to focus on the good and help each other through the trouble. Like I love that line in all I like the kindergarten, all I really knew I learned in kindergarten or something, and it was like, you know, mostly like hold hands and stick together. Like that's it. You hold hands and you stick together. It's the name of the game. So here's to finding your people that you can hold hands and stick together with, and giving yourself grace, taking it easy, and letting yourself like off the hook. And it's okay to call your best friend and have a gripe session, and it can sometimes do you a world of good. And then you're like back, and then you let that off your heart and you feel so much better. You feel so much lighter. And then you can go back into the world with your light and with your grace, because you have a support system. And thank God for my support system, because I'm here because of you, and I'm so grateful for you. Mwah. So I hope you find joy today and each and every day. Take great care.